This is what it's like to climb Mount Rainier guided. The reason I decided to do it guided is because I knew nothing about mountaineering going into this, just what I've read. My friends and I flew into Seattle, got a rental car, spent some time in the city before driving to Ashford where all the RMI Whitaker mountaineering stuff is. We stayed in the Whitaker bunkhouse, which is so cute, perfect if you're climbing with RMI. We did a hike before a presentation about the climb and a gear check. The next day was mountaineering school, so they taught us how to walk in the snow in crampons, rope travel, how to self-arrest, and from all of this we learned we still had gear and snacks to buy. We decided to have pizza to do a little carb loading and do our final pack of our backpacks. The next morning I woke up early to get a latte from the cafe's bunkhouse and it began. Day one we were going from the parking lot to Camp Muir and it was broken up into 5 one-hour chunks. Every hour we were taking a break to eat snacks, drink some water, reapply sunscreen, and unfortunately we were in the clouds for the whole time except for when we broke I think 9,000 feet. We finally got to see some sun and we made it to Camp Muir. We were staying in RMI's bunkhouse there and it was basically like triple layer bunk beds where you sleep like sardines next to each other. We ate the dinners we brought and they debriefed us on the next day. They talked about icefall, rockfall, crevasse hazard, and y'all, it had me so scared. And then they put us to bed at 6:45 because we woke up at 11:30 p.m. to get started on our day. This was the real climb, so crampons, rope travel, ice axe, helmets, and it was broken up into 4 one-hour chunks. Walking on crampons in the Spree and Talus I thought was going to be the death of me. Little did I know it's worse on the way down. There were some really steep sections of snow, but I was in tears just about how proud I was of myself for getting through all of that and getting through this climb. It was incredibly difficult even though I trained so hard. And for the last hour we got to ditch our packs. I was so grateful. And a big lesson learned for me is I need a camera that's pointing down at my feet and also forward at what I'm seeing. As you think the ground is beautiful, the sunrise over the mountains and the climbers in front of me was even more stunning. There were no ladders, so all the crevasses that we had to cross were small enough to step over, but honestly it was still so scary. And then the feeling of being at the summit was unmatched. I was on top of the world, but not everybody was. Some people had altitude sickness, and one of my friends had just started her period. It literally felt so bad for her. I know that made the climb even harder. But once you get to the crater of the volcano at the summit, your climb is not over yet. There's still a 20 more minute walk to the actual true high point. Once we got there, we signed the registry saying that we had summited Mount Rainier. And even the people on the climb that felt like they were gonna pass out, throw up, everyone in our group made it to the high point. The disappointment cleaver, the rock and Spree, and my crampons on the way down, I tripped so many times. It sucked the life out of me. I literally cried. It was so sad. I felt like the biggest weenie in the world until we started glissading on our way down. That brought some of the joy back to me, and then we finally got a glimpse of Mount Rainier. I'm so proud of myself for not only just summiting, but going through something so difficult. A year and a half ago, I couldn't run a mile. My training has come so far. And if you've gotten this far, give me a follow for more travel, training, and climbing.